Hi everybody, good morning, well good afternoon. It's Carrie, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills, Michigan, here with my Saturday sip. I am getting my tablet set up so I can see if anybody pops on. It was a beautiful morning here in Farmington Hills, but it's going to get very hot. So, I decided to pop on, so please say hello. I will try to watch the comments. So today we're going to do a card that when a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator hits $1 million in sales, career sales, they get a super fancy card from Stampin' Up! I did not hit that, so don't, get excited. I did not do that. But they always show us the cards that they give the people who have done this, and they're always so beautiful. And this one I had to case. Now I don't have that card obviously to show you, but I'm going to show you. Here is the first one that I did. I have several new team members from the recruiting special that they had, where you got so much stuff. The join special, I should say. So I don't know if you guys can see, but this back is embossed. There's a lot of layers, some ribbon. Even the back has some embossing on it. I mean, if you guys could see the Stampin' Up! Card was actually a bigger card. It was like 6 by 6, but I like to keep them so they fit in an envelope. And then when you open it, you get this flap. This one has the Stampin' Up! Statement of the Heart, which, if you do not know, is to love what we do and share what we love as we help others enjoy creativity and worthwhile accomplishments. In this, we make a difference. So I thought, because this is going to new team members, and then on the inside, I've stamped also, it's the best job in the world. But look, I mean, just the whole idea of this card is so much fun. So we're going to recreate one of those. I also did one for my husband, for our kids to sign. His is a little simpler. I didn't really do a whole lot. And there's this piece is actually embossed with our wood green folder, but I did not emboss the back. So this is the card we're going to make today, so you guys can see it. So, so fun, right? So this is the one we're going to make. All right. So obviously Irresistible Blooms and the dies, which I believe are also called Irresistible. Let me find the folder for it. I don't know. I have a pile here, you guys. It's got to be here somewhere. This must be it. Nope. Okay. It's here. I know it. It's not. All right. I have a pile. Anyway, they're the matching dies. And this is an online exclusive. So you're going to want to look for this online. It's not in the catalog. So I'm going to pull out these two dies because we're going to be using them. I've already pre-die cut a lot of the pieces, but I'm going to show you how I did them. So I am using this one. I couldn't be happier to have you as a friend. And these four images, okay? And of course, the dies. I am also using the Everyday Details. Oops, hold on. Let me show you this part. I'm sorry, you guys. I have a whole lot going on with me physically right now. I have so I'm just telling you this, you guys know what's going on. Tuesday I had my eyes dilated, so I was having a hard time with that video. I did pre-record a video for next Tuesday because I know they'll probably do something. I'm having eye surgery on Monday for my right eye. It's in and out. I'll be okay. Don't, nobody worry about me. but I have the follow-up on Tuesday, and I probably won't be up to doing a video. So I pre-taped that. And then Wednesday, I'm going to the gastroenterologist to find out why my back pain is just not going away. Couldn't find anything on an MRI, a CT, and a regular x-rays. They couldn't find anything. So we think it's kidney stones or gallbladder. I'm thinking probably gallbladder just because of what's going on, but my pain is incredible. So if you hear me wince, it's because I've moved the wrong way. So I just want you guys to know that. I am going to be using the dotted circles dies. This is how I did the front and back embossing. And I did that because I'm going to be using this die here. And I wanted to follow the circle theme. So you'll see that. I'm going to show you those pieces in just a minute. But what I did when I put it in, and I'm just going to lay this one over the other one that's inside there. I wanted to lay it on the folder so that when I put it in, this would be part of the bottom of the card. Now, a lot of it gets hidden, but I still wanted the circle to make sense in the card. Okay, I hope that helps you understand. All right, so we're going to be using these. So let me pull this other one out so I am ready. So we've got that piece. Then I cut out this piece up here, but when you cut this piece out, it stays attached. It's almost like a hole. It doesn't cut this outer ring. So I needed to do that. So I grabbed my deckled circles, I think they're called, and I found one that matched and cut it out with that. Let me make sure I know what those are called. I am like at a loss for everything right now. Yep, deckled circle dies. These are online, I believe, also now. So that is how I got this piece to cut out with the circle. So you're seeing the circle theme, right? Okay, so there's that. And then I needed to go behind this. I needed a piece of white so to go on there, and I wanted to keep with the circles, right? So I used this circle die from, let me show you, from this set, which is called, you know what it is? I'm missing a lot of these pieces. That's Stylish Shapes. Everyday Details. Okay, so I use this, the largest circle for this piece, and then I've got, I've cut a few pieces already for that. I think, you guys, I know I'm a little discombobulated. I apologize. I'm also using Stylish Shapes. I'm using this piece, so we're going to want that. So let me just kind of keep making piles here. And I'm looking to see if I have all the pieces that I need. I think I do. Yes, I do. Okay. And then I've got the birthday wishes out of the Simply Said stamp set. And we're going to be using these beautiful, the 2024-26 in color shimmer gems. Okay. Because I'm going to be using this green to keep with my circle theme. So we're going to keep that out. So now let me get all this out of the way. And I'm going to show you some of the tricks that I have for this card. I already showed you this one, cutting it out with the decals to go onto that. I already showed you those. We're going to stamp some pieces, and I'm going to die cut those for you now. Grab my foam mat. So I'm going to start with this. This one is going to go on the interior of the card. And it's the one that says, I couldn't be happier to have you as a friend. And I'm using my Memento Tuxedo Black ink to ink that up right in the center. And then I'm going to take that over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut that piece out. So I'm going to set that off to that machine. Then this one, which is already cut, I am going to stamp the Happy Birthday from I forgot the name of the stamp set already. Simply Said stamp set. And I'm going to stamp that right in the center. There we go. So now that part of the stamping is out of the way. And I am done with my memento. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scrap white, which I had 2 seconds ago. There it is. I moved it. So I'm going to stamp 2 of the flower images. And their insides. I'm trying to remember exactly how I did this. I have some blender pens here. And I have some ink pads, so we're going to talk about those. Sorry, I'm going to adjust my lighting a little bit here. It looks a little funky. So, I'm going to start by inking in Pretty in Pink, both flowers. So there's 2 sizes of flowers. Now I want to color the insides. So the new style ink pads, they take quite a bit to squeeze, I know, but just, you know, I'm really hoping I can do this with my back pain, you guys, so forgive me if I'm grunting a little bit. Oh gosh. Oh, it really hurts to do this, but I love you, so I'm doing it. Oh, it would have been easier, but I have not ordered the new in color ink pads, and I keep or ink refills, and I don't know why I keep forgetting, because it's much easier just to drop that on there. There we go. Phew, got it. So now I have a couple of them here, and I want to make sure I'm using the right one. Okay, that one's clear. So I'm just going to grab a little bit. When you are doing this kind of shading, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. There we go. So I like to start in, because it's going to be darkest, I like to start where I know that there would be more shading, these back pieces here. And again, I think I've taught you guys this before. I'm not getting picky. I am kind of scribbly when I do this, so that the flowers almost look a little on the variegated side. Okay. And just fill in and just keep getting more ink as you need it. Okay, now this one. But can you see how it's not, you can color these in more precisely if you want, but I'm looking for a soft, you know how you see flowers sometimes and they almost have like almost a stripe in them because of their variegation. These are not stripy, of course, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to accomplish here. Just some very delicate pink flowers. Plus, this stamp set, I believe, is called transparent. Let me check. Oh no, Irresistible Blooms. I was thinking it had a different name. Okay, then of course, you know, clean off your blending tool. Then I'm going to grab the Daffodil Delight. This one, oh, I need that. This one's already been squeezed. And I think this is completely clear. Yep. So I'm going to grab some of this, and I'm going to go ahead and do the stamen of the flower. Get that nice happy yellow in there. And I'm not being fancy. I'm not worried about perfectly coloring them. You know how I feel about perfection. So this is taking a lot more to clean off though. There we go. So I used these two colors for the flowers. And you'll see I have my Shy Shamrock here. And the reason I have that here, let me move that out of the way, is I have pre-cut a bunch of leaves. Here they are. And I have colored in, you can barely tell, but I have put a little extra color on these parts of the leaves. You can do it on some of the other ones. Now this one, I was debating on what to do with it. It's supposed to punch the holes all the way out like that. And for some reason, when I was doing this one, I don't know what I did, but it didn't come out. So I thought, that's okay. I'm going to leave this one like this and see what I can do with it. So I saved all the little pieces for that. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to cut these out. Now, obviously, it's not going to fit in my cut and emboss machine with this size, so I will just quickly trim it out. And then I'm going to zoom back out before I forget so you can see when I'm actually doing the foldy part. Okay, there we go. All right, give me just a second. Oh, I have one more thing to die cut, you guys. I forgot. So this is a piece, I'm not die cutting this, but this piece is 2 inches by 5.5. Okay, so we're going to use that. I have an 11 by 5.5 of Pretty in Pink. And then this piece is, oh, let's see, 4 by 6. But it doesn't need to be that long. But what I'm going to do is, this is for this inside piece right here. And I want the holes to line up. All right, because this one is going to cut it out with holes. So I am going to, oops, I want it to go this way. I'm going to fold it in half, not being particularly particular. And then I'm going to just put some adhesive on one side just to be able to hold it. Maybe, if my glue decides it's going to be nice to me. I need to grab another bottle for this station. All right, so now that is cut. So this way, I'm cutting out 2 pieces at once. All right, and it's going to cut this section, so I don't have to worry about it being. See, it's a little. Can you see that it's a little not? Okay, that's okay. This side doesn't matter. This outside circles don't matter to me. Just the inside. So I'll be able to cut that out. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab these so I can do my flowers. You see I've got a little bit of washi tape to hold them in place. And I'm taking it over to my Stampin' and Cut and Emboss machine. And it's really big for video. So that is why you're not seeing me actually do it. All right. I'm going to see if I can get them all in one pass because we'll see how I do cranking this. And hopefully I don't have to call my husband down to come and help me, Michael. It could happen. It could happen. So give me just a second because it takes a second to line up how the flowers need to go on with these dies. I've used them quite a bit, so I kind of know. And I'm talking so that you don't think that I'm not here. I'm here, see? All right. I think, yep, that's that one. And then my sentiment piece has to go on here. All right, I have everything on. Now I'm going to crank. Oh, gosh. Say some prayers, ladies. Oh, gosh. This back pain is really interfering with my creativity. I honestly have been barely down here, you guys, because it's a long story. I don't want to keep whining. So I'm going to set these aside as I pull them off. Now this one's supposed to have a lot of holes in it, so it is going to make a little bit of a mess on your page or on your table. So I like to keep it over onto this, and then I use something like my bone folder or something to scrape it all into the trash or your recycling bin, because it is paper. It can be recycled. And then I'm just taking my take your pick tool and popping out the holes. This is a fun thing to watch. It's kind of like paint drying. And generally when I just do this with one layer, I don't have a problem with the holes popping out. I think it's because I do have 2 layers here. Now the other thing to think about is, you know, when you cut something, the cut goes down and it's kind of like this shape. So you get a different edge when you cut. So you can cut these separately, and I did do that on one of my cards. But what I found was it was an experience to get them to line up perfectly. And this way they are. So while perfection is overrated, if I can find a way to look like I'm perfect, cheater perfect, I guess we will say. I think I have all my holes out. Let's see. Okay, but I don't know if you can see how the back looks a little different than the front. Okay, so this will definitely be my back side, and this will be my front side. All right, and then this is going to end up on that, and then my flowers and everything. Okay, so here we go. Here's the fold. All right, I'm going to make a big mess and just, oh, let me get this out of the way. MemoryINKers.com, that's my Stampin' Up website. MemoryINKers@gmail.com is how you can email me or comment here. If you're shopping June 2024, my hostess code is 4XGD3SNH. I appreciate if you use that. That would be really cool. So let me see if I can move that out of the way, because I'm going to be using my Simply Scored tool, and it's big. All right. So I tried just using the Simply Scored tool for this first fold, and what I found was I got a better even fold if I started with just folding this in half as if it were a regular card. Now remember, this is 5.5 by 11. So there we go. All right, so you've got, like right now, I have a 5.5 by 5.5 card. All right, so now I'm going to grab my Simply Scored tool. Okay, and I put these lines in for myself for when I was scoring. I just drew it with a paint pen. You don't have to do that. So now, here's my other tip. Remember how I said you want to fold into the score line? Well, this fold is going to go on the inside of the card. So I want my score lines to not be this way, because I'm going to want to fold it in. It'll make sense in a minute. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to go to my 4 1/4, and I'm going to start out, when you use something like this, start out light. Then if you want to make sure you've got a good crease in there, you can go back. But it kind of gives you a guideline. And then I'm going to flip this over so I'm in the same place. And I am going to go like that. There we go. So now I have all of my scores. Let me get this out of the way so I can explain further. All right. So now, remember I said this is folding on the inside, which is why I wanted my bumpy side, or the hill, to be on this side of the card. So now I am going to take and I'm going to fold, and just to be sure I'm even, I'm going to line it up and I'm going to score it as tightly as I can. You want a really good fold there. Then I'm going to go the other way and do the same thing. Make sure it lines up. Because even though I'm using a scoring tool, it's me, I know me, and perfection is not my forte. So I want to make sure all my scores are super tight. Okay? So, and you're going to see me scoring this off and on during the process. All right, so there we go. Now we have the card, and it kind of looks like an M or a W, depending on how you look at it. Now you're going to grab your tear and tape and put it right on near the fold line. So here's my fold line right here. Okay. Score that on and take off the transfer. And then I'm going to fold this down and press. So now I have that. Make sense? So I forgot to cut a piece. Silly me. I forgot to cut the piece for the inside. This is what the inside will look like. I will do that. I'm a little uncomfortable, so I'm not gonna cut a piece and have it ready. But here's what you can do to the inside piece that you're not gonna see me do. But let's put this piece on. All right. So you remember that I glued one side of that, if I can find it. I've got little pieces everywhere. So I just have to figure out what side that is. So obviously, there we go. It is this side. So I will slide this in to attach it. I feel really bad that I forgot that part, you guys. I'm so sorry. I hope you guys will forgive my pain brain. There we go. I need to just go grab another bottle of this, don't I? And I'm just putting some adhesive on both sides. Yep, definitely need another one. So let me grab it because that's really bugging me. I hope this one is full too. I don't know. I hope I don't have to go over to my other table and, that one hasn't. So good. Okay, so I also want to make sure this is my front. I can feel it. I can feel the differences. And I am going to set this so that I can kind of see if it's centered. Remember, I love liquid glue because it gives you a minute. So then I can see if it's centered. I can see that I have a hole that did not poke out. So I can grab that. Okay, let me see if that looks centered to me. It looks close enough. And then I'm going to put this on. You don't want to, I mean, you can, but you really don't want to pop this up because it's going to make the inside of your card a little too thick. So there we go. And then, like I said, you're going to have obviously a piece that's white under here, and you'll decorate it like I did mine. All right, so that's that front. Now I want to glue these pieces on. You can determine which one you think is the better one for the front or the back. They're pretty darn close to how they look, and you have to remember now that you've put a sentiment on here that this is your front. So I am going to put some liquid glue on here. And I'm centering it towards the bottom. Okay, you see I have a lot of space up there. And I'm just going to get this centered where I want it. Oops. I love liquid glue because it lets me slide it around. And that's pretty darn close. I'm going to flip it over and do the back side. And you see that this has a bigger circle than this. Now for this side, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it because there's not gonna be really anything on the back. Where the other, on the front, I did it on that side, I think. I was supposed to. We'll see if I did. Okay, so there we go. Right, we've got that. Oh, this one's almost perfectly even. Oh, pretty impressive. All right, so now this is the 2-piece by 5.5 piece. You can use your scoring tool, which I probably should, just to save myself the headache of wondering if I did this right. And I'm going to take it over here, lay it down, go to the 1 inch. Now I'm using the fat end, and I'm not going to, oh, I need to do it this way. I'm not going to press very hard because I don't want to tear my designer series paper. There we go. I'm just going to do it once, just to help me along. Now, hopefully you remember why I scored it on this side, because this is the inside, and so that bumpy part needs to be there. Again, I'm going to watch and try to keep it even while I am doing this. And I'm going to score that. Not quite as tightly yet. Then you can use tear and tape if you want. I'm going to use the liquid glue. Okay. And I'm going to tap this like that, set it on there, and fold it over. Now, here's where it gets interesting. There is bumpies under here, right? From the embossing. I'm just going to press really hard, and I'm going to go a little bit past that because I'm going to be adding some ribbon that I also don't want to be too bumpy. So I'm just smoothing it out a little bit so that it's not as obvious that there are big lumps under here. I hope that makes sense. And then do it on the other side. There we go. I am going to take some tear and tape. I kind of want this to be straight, so let me cut this end off. Stick that on that. It's not perfectly straight, but it's straightish. You can also put this directly on the ribbon that you're going to use. Okay. Press that down again. When you use your bone fold to press your, let me close this before it dries up. It helps it to adhere to the paper and get off of the transfer piece. So that's why I'm doing that. See right there, it wants to stick to the transfer. I'm going to press it down. There we go. And my ribbon is the Pretty in Pink in color ribbon. It's called bordered ribbon. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it has a nice stitched border. And I am going to go off of a little bit. Okay. And press. Because I want to get that tear and tape now to stick to my ribbon. And then I'm going to trim off the ribbon. Look at that. Get that off there. If you have ribbon cutting scissors, you can use those. I still have them. I loved when we had ribbon cutting scissors. from Stampin' Up. They were just so awesome. There we go. So now there's my back side. So I'm going to do the same thing to my front. Again, take the ribbon or the tear and tape, and it's kind of half on the ribbon and half ribbon. It's half on the DSP and half on the cardstock. And I usually would tear this, but I kind of want to be sure it goes to the ends for the ribbon's sake. Oops, I guess it'll help the ribbon stick more if I take the transfer off, right? Silly girl. So now I can put this on here. Again, I'm hanging off a little bit. You don't have to. If your ribbon is cut perfect and you want to just line it up, then go ahead. All right. You always want to clean your scissors after you've cut with anything sticky. Okay. So now here's the front, here's the back. I'm going to start by decorating the front, but I am going to put a little bit on the back. So the first thing I need is my silicone mat, and I just put it over here. There it is. My little tiny piece of sponge, and I am going to take the swirly dotty thing. Where is my, oh, there it is. Okay, thought I lost that for a minute. And it's gonna put a little, I think I showed you guys this the other day. Just gonna put a little bit on there and just grab some. You can do it with your actual glue, but since my glue is running low, I didn't want it to splot too big. Like that's kind of big. I'm not doing too much on the ring because the ring is bigger than the basic white piece. So, oops, let me move stuff out of my way. I might need that in a minute. Now I can play with this. This circle in the center is not an exact circle. It's kind of oblongish. So you can play with this and get it where you want it. Let's see, now I have my outer ring. Yes, it is bigger down here. I could have moved it up, but I'm getting this ring where I want it, and I'm seeing the holes where I want to see the holes. I want to keep that hole situation going. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this down flat. This is a bulky card when you make it. That's the one that wasn't working. So prepare yourself for that. It is a little bulky. You might want to put a little extra postage on this one. But when you spend this much time on a card, using extra postage is never a bad idea. So now one of the things I'm doing is I'm trying to center it down here where the bigger circles are, and getting my birthday wishes straight. Hang on. Can't talk and think at the same time. Yikes. There we go. That is not straight. There we go. That's up a little high, so I'm going to squeeze a little bit under there. I hope I did. All right, so now I have that. Now I can start playing with my different elements. So I am going to use Stampin' Dimensionals for my flowers. And I'm going to want one up and one down, like so. So you just kind of have to play with it and decide where do you want your flowers. Well, I'm not going to put any dimensionals under here because this is up already a bit. So I'm just going to put a couple over here, like so, for this one. If you want to put some your liquid glue here, you can. I'm not going to. There we go. Same decision with this one. Not going to put any here. So I like to keep my fingers where I know I'm not going to want to have any dimensionals. I'm also not putting them too close to the edge because I'm going to be tucking those leaves and things under here. So I'm going to want to have room to do that. All right, so now here's where decisions have to be made on pieces. Now, these little things here are the insides of the pieces, and this one is very plain. So what I can do is I can take my Shy Shamrock and grab a pen, a blending pen, and I can make some vine shape in this, just very carefully adding a little bit of color. I don't want to get too crazy. Just enough to kind of, you know, get it somewhere, and then kind of blend on it so it fuzzes up those straight lines. I hope this is making sense because I did not get up to zoom in. But you get the idea. So now it has a little bit more of that leaf distinction to it. I am going to grab this again, and on the back of my leaf I'm going to put some adhesive, and I'm going to tuck and press, and I think I'll do this one. Okay, come on. There we go. And let's see, we'll grab this one. I'm trying to look at my original design. Let me see, I'm going to need a little more of this. There we go. And then some for up here. Now I have before put like a small dimensional here to lift up the leaves, which I can do that. So then this leaf will be sort of lifted up out from behind the flower. I don't know if I can get one on that one. I'm not going to worry about that one. Oh, I got some adhesive on there. Then I'm going to slide this. Oh, that worked out well, because then this, I wouldn't have wanted any on there anyway. But see, now I'm pressing this one down, but the leaves are kind of popped up. I don't know if you guys can see it on video, but it does kind of give it a lift a little bit in that section. So that's all the leaves for this front. I'm going to put a few on the back. And like I said, this one was like a happy problem, but I don't want all these things to pop out now. So I'm going to make sure I've got it good and covered with adhesive. And I'm going to, hang on, I want to look at my original so I can determine how I liked it. I don't know how much I can lift this, But if you can lift your ribbon a little bit and tuck it under and press that down, and then this one, whoops, I should use the same gluey side. So see, now your back is as pretty as your front is. Now, the only issue you're going to have is if you have a stamp for your name, to like how you sign the back of your cards, it's going to be almost impossible with this particular die. I think I was able to do it with this one. Nope, I didn't do it on that one either. So you can stamp that before you emboss, or you can just write inside the little circles or put your initials or something on there. Okay, so now there's the front. It already looks so pretty, but we are going to add some gems to it. And I picked these to continue the circle design. Now, I'm going to use the greens. Technically, this green is, I think, supposed to be the one. That matches this up here. But this green seems a little dark to me, so I'm going to be using the darker ones. And I'm going to put them, so they almost look like they're fallen off of this circle, which I think is kind of cool. It's just different. So you can use all big ones or all small ones, whatever you like. But this is my take on the Stampin' Up! $1 Million card. I hope you guys like it. I'm not seeing any comments right now, but you might be out before it gets too hot here in Michigan. But there's the inside. I'll show you the inside that's completed. And there's the back. So let me grab this one. So you can see when it's done, this is what it'll look like if you take a minute to stamp, and you still have plenty of room to write. You have room up here. You might want to pay attention to where to stop. If you don't want any writing to be shown, you can just know, okay, stop, put your thumb there or something. But the rest of this can all be written in, which is kind of cool. So there you go. There's the front and the back of this fun card. So I hope you guys liked this. I, again, will have a pre-recorded video for you guys on Tuesday because of my eye surgery. And then I'm not sure what's going to happen on Wednesday. I'm assuming Wednesday's consultation will be just that. I am in a great deal of pain, so I'm hoping that if I need surgery, we can get it done quickly. Or they give me some medicine for whatever this is. Like I said, I think it's gallstones. Yay, I'm so excited. So have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye. It's not letting me log off. I love when it does that. There it goes. Okay, now goodbye.